See, Stefanski never planned on paying Shadeur Sanders. If you listen to the way people are talking, that's marching orders. The marching orders that protect Stefanski is very obvious. It's painfully obvious. They done circled the wagons. But then again, if you watch the Barbershop, I done told you they was going to circle the wagons, didn't I? I said it's coming this week. The bye week is to circle the wagons. So Kevin Stefanski doubles down, says Dillon Gabriel's going to play. He's going to look at every other position but the quarterback position. And the reality of the situation is he's showing you in real time that he's willing to stake his career on this and have at it, because I'm willing to get you up out of here. By the way, there's a disconnect between what legacy media is telling you and that fan base, because that fan base, it done switched all the way up. Like I told you they would. When you're a grown man and you spend half your time on Sundays, watching this garbage, it don't matter how many articles you write. People ain't trying to hear that. They seeing it with their own eyes. And that's why the NFL is the most narrative-based soap opera in the game. They came up with the term franchise quarterback. You know why? It was meant to put somebody on a pedestal. It was meant to make this person be a mythical character. It was meant to have people look and idolize these people. So when you say franchise quarterback, that means the franchise is in the direct image of who the quarterback is. And there are a lot of people that are uncomfortable with Shadeur Sanders, no matter how well he plays, being a representative of their organization. Why you think Kevin Stefanski is doubling and tripling down? Well, listen, you know, I be on Acho all the time because he be saying some stupid stuff sometimes. But he must have realized, hey, Acho, you need to get your mind together. I need to get my mind together. RG3 been on the ticket. Let's get to this. This is courtesy of my man, RG.
Just set a franchise record with 5 sacks in a game, and they lost 32-13 because Kevin Stefanski is not what's doing in the best interest of the team. Now, why do I say that? Dillon Gabriel, I got nothing against the young man. I think he's a phenomenal college quarterback who has an opportunity to be a contributor in the NFL. But when your coach comes out and doesn't hold the starting quarterback accountable for not playing well, regardless of whether he is a young quarterback or not, doesn't watch the film and immediately comes out in the press conference and says, I'm going to stick with Dillon Gabriel after the bye week, knowing that Myles Garrett isn't throwing his helmet on the sideline because he was upset that he didn't get more sacks. Myles Garrett was upset that his 5 sacks didn't matter. That is a massive problem in the locker room. And when you look at a guy like Shadeur Sanders, every chance Kevin Stefanski has gotten to put him down, to not put him in a position to be successful, he's done it. Kevin Stefanski owes it to the locker room to give Shadeur Sanders an opportunity to compete, have a pathway to the field, no different than any other player. But what Kevin Stefanski is telling all of us straight to our faces is that Dillon Gabriel is his guy, and he will never start Shadeur Sanders unless Dillon Gabriel can't play. He might even play Bailey Zapp before he played Shadeur Sanders. He might go ask the Baltimore Ravens to trade back for Snoop Huntley before he plays Shadeur Sanders. He might even go ask the Bengals to trade Joe Flacco back so he can be the starter before he plays Shadeur Sanders. He might even go to the Raiders and get Kenny Pickett back before he plays Shadeur Sanders. The only way this Cleveland Browns team gets better this season or into next year is if Kevin Stefanski is not there. The only way Shadeur Sanders gets an opportunity in Cleveland to be the guy is if Kevin Stefanski gets fired.
We're weaving a tapestry here, boys and girls. If you're following along, I showed you how they're posing, how they're setting it up. Anybody but Shadeur. You go out there, you get your marching orders. The job is to circle the wagons, anybody but Shadeur. And I don't care, say Dillon Gabriel isn't playing that bad. Say he doesn't have enough time to get together. Say it's the offensive line. Say it's the receivers. Well, if that doesn't work, here's what you need to do. You say, okay, Dillon is bad, but Shadeur will be even worse. Even worse. Dillon keep playing bad, that ain't going to work no more. Well, look, he's just not ready. Just trust us. Trust us, what we're saying. But RG3 makes a great point. Even though the tagline says Stefanski won't play him. I'm convinced Kevin Stefanski will never willingly play Shadeur Sanders, but willingly is the key answer. Because at some point, Jimmy Haslam is going to force his hand. You know why Jimmy Haslam is going to force his hand? Because the base is flipped. I ain't really want to get into this. The base is flipped. You see, anytime you need to win an election, right? And Kevin Stefanski is up for the re-election, right? He's up for re-election as the quote unquote president of the Cleveland Browns. And anytime you want to win an election, you got to win certain buckets of people. Whether your base is liberal or conservative, you need to win your base handily by 80, 90%. And then you need to steal a few fringe people from the opposing group. You also need to get the independents. You also need to get the minorities. You also have to get fringe people on certain subjects. It's tried and true. You go back and chart any election. Pollsters always a lot of pollsters are getting it wrong because they don't understand how people think now. Y'all going back on what used to happen. That's why the polls be all messed up to the election. But what Kevin Stefanski in this case has to understand is his base is legacy media. But that's a shrinking demographic. It's a powerful demographic traditionally because they have the power of the pen, the power of the group. That's why it's traditional media has been so strict about who they let in, what the representation looks like, and the decorum of what you talk about. But as time has gone on, the legacy media has been stripped of the powers of the Black Panther, have been stripped away. You know why it's been stripped? Because there's little fools like me running around on the internet. Everybody, and now players wised up and figure ex-players. So hold on, I'm opinionated. I got all the connections with the other players. Why don't I just invest my own money and come up with my own podcast? Why don't I invest in my own money and bring my own guys on? We're the experts here. So now there's another demographic. So you got legacy media, you got the player empowerment media. Then you have independent media. Those are guys like me on the internet moving around. That's the blogosphere, right? Then you have the fan base, and then you have the financial aspect. Kevin Stefanski, in terms of the media and the legacy media, he got that, but their power is diminished. He had, to a certain extent, the fan base. Because the propaganda that they put out was he's the two-time coach of the year. Who are we going to get? They play on your fears. They play on your fears that the others are coming. Hey, you're a Cleveland Brown fan, right? Your father had tickets here. Your great-grandfather was in the Muni lot. Are you going to come in and let these others come in here and just steal your fandom? They don't care about the Browns. They care about Shadeur Sanders. They're not part of us. They're not part of us. So when they say Shadeur should be playing, guys, just trust us because they want to come in and take over. Why you think it's so much pushback? A lot of stuff that these people say ain't got nothing to do with what's on the field. It has to do with them pushing back on a mythical idea that this cult is coming to take their beloved Cleveland Browns away. Not that somebody believes in a player that a lot of people had as a second round, number 2 overall pick. Not a dude who's won multiple awards in college. Not a dude that threw for 4,000 yards. Not a dude that been in pro style office. Not a dude that can played against multiple people, put multiple yards up with a bad team, with a bad offensive line, a couple people are receiver. Not a dude that people projected as a potential number 1, number 2 overall pick. Not that. It's looked at the lens of, I don't think he's a savior. They think he's a savior. Human nature is to push back when you feel somebody got something on you, right? So Kevin Stefanski dying on this hill and trying to get reelected ain't going to work because as you see, all the other former players don't rock with him, all of them. Even the ones that played here. The independent media don't rock with you. You can't win them votes. And now the fan base is seeing you wasted a 3rd round pick on Dylan Gabriel. And instead of you acknowledging that and at least moving on, you done doubled down. So every week you come out here and play this same garbage, you continue to lose the fan base. And then what happens? What happens when you're polling? And what happens when you're running in the primary and your numbers is looking like 14% in the vote? The committee tells you, hey, I need you to concede. I don't care if you raised a bunch of money. You need to concede because there's no possible way you can win. And at this point, Kevin Stefanski is about 1 week away from conceding because the fan base don't see it. The media, the players' media is already on him. You already know we already on his back. We already on him right now here. And eventually, what's the straw that breaks the camel's back is that the king up top. The one with the purse strings, the donors, that's Jimmy Haslam. Jimmy Haslam gonna come around and say, you know, Kev, more than anything, it just leaked that people supposed to pay $250,000 for some seats, regular seats in the new stadium, and I can't keep trotting you out here. I need at least some of these donors. A lot of these rich donors is not pulling up no more. We're gonna have to let you go because the people spoke. Kevin, by the way, we know good and well what you're thinking because you continue to try people out here, courtesy of 92.3 The Fan. Watch how they push back. It's not about whether Dylan Gabriel is good. It's not about whether or not, Kevin Stefanski puts people in the best position to do their thing. It's about, he's saying that, well, I think that people are misguided because they're looking at him as a savior. So because people believe that somebody is better than Dylan Gabriel, you got to push back because in your mind, you made up a savior. Nobody didn't say he was a savior. We just said he was better than the dude you got out there right now that you're trying to convince us of that wasn't ever that good. Courtesy of 92.3 The Fan. Watch how people, again, legacy media, watch the tone.
If there's a chance playing Shadeur Sanders would make this offense look any better, or are the problems just bigger than the quarterback spot right now?
Yeah, I think the problems are bigger than the quarterback spot. And look, I'm not saying that Shadeur Sanders couldn't come in there and be better. Maybe he could be, right? I mean, it's impossible for anybody to sit there and say whether it would or wouldn't be at least better. I would say that Sanders was the third string quarterback going into the season for a reason. Like he, just like Gabriel, a rookie. And also I think, look, it's a lot to pick up. It's a lot to take on. I know in the preseason there were a lot of national voices like, why is he only playing third-team reps? And why is he playing with these guys who are going to get cut? It's like, well, because he's a third-string quarterback. Like, they're not going to play starters with this guy in the third quarter of a preseason game. Like, that's insane. That's not going to happen. So I think realistically, look, does he get a shot this year? If you're Stefanski, you probably throw him in there at some point and say, let's see what the kid's got. But I think if you're a Browns fan expecting him to come in and just be the savior, it's a lot. There's a reason he went in the fifth round. There's a reason he's the third-string quarterback.
What reason is that? Can I get specific about this? What reason is that? Well, there's a reason. 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 What is it? You know what? Don't stop the party, G. Bush. You got some more receipts to give out.
If his name wasn't Shadeur Sanders and it was Johnny Smith, like, would you sit there and still have this clamoring to play him? Like, I don't know that you would. So
you mean kind of like Arch Manning was the number one overall pick until you found out he was garbage?
I think you will play at some point, but I don't think he's all of a sudden going to just like turn around the whole thing.
Okay. Well, listen. We all first verse. Don't worry about it. Let's talk about this real quick.
After 17 seasons.
Let me show you something. Here's the problem I got with this trope and narrative. Don't play with me. This is courtesy of the NFL, by the way. It's not no independent media that put this out there. These are the people that represent the NFL. So they've already told you if the NFL put it out there, if the NFL has it out there, they said it, I didn't. They said it, I didn't. The pride I got is this. Y'all better stop acting like every single time that there was a quarterback in that position that happens to be black, that the trope is he don't know what's going on. Can't read the playbook, can't get in and out of the huddle, don't know the plays. It's a lot to ask of him. It's confusing. Is he a leader? Well, let me just show you one of the greatest football quarterbacks of all freaking time. Do not play with me on this Saturday. This is a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest to put a helmet on. And they told this man that he couldn't play. He wasn't no leader. He had to go through the USFL. This trope been going on since it's a tale as old as time. Song as old as rhyme. Beauty and the Beast. Let's talk to him real quick. I know some people don't want to hear it. Hey, listen, it might be bye week. You can still catch that flight to Tahiti. It's still time to gas up the car and take the family away for the weekend so you don't have to see it. Don't you play with me today. Let's talk.
After 17 seasons in the National Football League, Warren Moon was enshrined into the NFL Hall of Fame.
A lot has been said about me as being the first African-American quarterback into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's a subject that I'm very uncomfortable about sometimes, only because I've always wanted to be judged as just a quarterback.
Moon's place in Canton was not earned without overcoming many obstacles and stereotypes that faced black quarterbacks during his era. For a time, Moon was trapped on the sidelines, unable to play the game he loved unless he moved to wide receiver. Moon moved to Canada before he would be switched, but Warren always stayed true to his conviction of playing quarterback in the NFL.
Not only did I have to deal with the fact that people didn't think I was good enough to play the position physically, but I also had to deal with the racial aspect of it too. So I had the double whammy going against me when I came out of college.
I don't want you to think I can play this position. Guys, we done switched the brother to receiver.
One of the stereotypes against us is that we couldn't lead, that we couldn't think, that we couldn't, read defenses and throw the ball from the pocket.
Back goes Warren, looking, fires, caught!
I think I've been able to overcome those barriers and do things beyond what anybody ever thought I was capable of doing. And I've been productive everywhere I've ever played the game, everywhere I've ever strapped up my helmet. My versatility has also shown that there's a place for that type of quarterback in this game.
Every single time you move, let's move Warren Moon to receiver. But I'm guessing there were some people at the time who said, well, the Houston Oilers have to know best, right? Well, the Houston Oilers, they were saying he wasn't ready. They're telling us that. I don't give a damn what you think that somebody told you. You didn't like, you said Lamar Jackson was a receiver. You said Jalen Hurts was a tight end. So you can say whether or not a guy is good or not, but the one thing I'm always going to sit on and stand on the principle is watch your mouth when you're talking about what people don't know and know what is going on and cognitive abilities. That's kind of borderline because we've been doing this stuff. That was from the NFL film. They put that package together. I didn't. So before you get in the comment section, talk about why does it always have to be about this? The NFL said it. I didn't. And obviously you trust them with everything, don't you? Huh? You trust all the other propaganda. You don't want to trust that? Okay, I get it. But for me, the fact that people are still trying to use the ability to see the game, the ability to pass and process to be a leader, when you use buzzwords and buzz phrases like get in and out of the huddle, he's a leader of men. He's the face of a franchise. He's the first one in, last one out, does all the little things, gets the ball out quick. He's a supercomputer. It's funny how none of those they seem to not apply to certain people. We seem to can't never get that type of, when I'm going to be known as the supercomputer. By the way, I tell it like it is all the time. I'll be funny and joking all the time. Ha, ha, ha. You can have all the stats you want. You ain't smarter than me in nothing. I got multiple degrees. Multiple, 2, 4, 5, 6, 10. And the way I put my stuff together, you can't even get on that level. That's the fact that y'all always think we got to be sitting up here talking and tap dancing and laughing and joking. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with folks. This is 2025. If you don't think somebody can play, you do your homework and you put the time, effort, and energy in. Because after I get off here, I'm going to go watch some college tape. I'm going to go watch some college tape while you off doing whatever you doing. I already told you your opinion is not the same as this one. Because I respect people that put the time, energy, and effort into it. Not the fact that you watch Ohio State Buckeyes and run around and say, I trust this person who said this. They trusted Bernie Madoff too. Ooh, y'all a little too trustworthy. Come on now. I know it ain't Sunday. But I'm just letting y'all know what it is. Refute it. I ain't never heard the supercomputer narrative for a black quarterback. Still waiting to see it. Michael Vick was electric. Donovan McNabb was a magician. Doug Williams was the first. Warren Moon threw the prettiest football in the world. When I get to be the supercomputer, how many degrees I gotta have before I could be the TI 86 and a half? Huh? Or do that don't come to me